Bow. All right, we're ready. We're ready. Hey, I got a haircut, but I didn't feel like putting grease in my hair today, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. I got this haircut because I gotta go in to work here really soon. But what's up, all? I hope all is well with each and every one of you guys. Most determined soul, CJ Berry, the leader of waves and ways of people in determination. CJ's who I am. MD Soul is what I am, so you can just call me CJ. I really don't mind it. And yesterday, I got a good show for you. I know that the Magic team was fun thinking back, but at the time, the Knicks, was on hunt mode on the Magic and the Bulls. I understand. I completely understand. But before we get started, again, I think where am I at? Where am I at with this? Um, I think the place that I'm at and where I'm at is about self. It's just self-serving. That's where I'm at today. And um, ironically, oh man, this is starting to get really interesting. I'm starting to realize a lot of stuff when it comes to content and how to build out your content, how to make good content, and there was a couple things said on that last video, and I thought it was funny, but then I also don't think that people really think, right? So I had this 1, 2 spitting my flow, 3, 4 about to close. You're 34 seconds, but yeah, you're about 30 on YouTube. You are. Um, one of the things that I think is just very interesting when it comes to a lot of the just people in general. I was talking to my therapist about this not too long ago when it comes to people and who they are and what they're about. You always hear this term of, that's an NPC, right? This is an NPC. That's an NPC. And maybe this helps some of you guys, right? Because like, and man, there's just so much, there's just so much to this. Like I don't even know where to start. Because this morning I had a therapy session with my wife, and that's kind of what triggered this. And I went back and looked at a lot of the content that I posted and seeing some of the responses. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start with this. With talking about this, and I just no. All right, so here it is, Nick. When it comes to people, hey, there's the button drummer. What's up? When it comes to people, I didn't realize that a lot of people don't think. But when I say a lot of people don't think, it's not what you think it is, right? When I say a lot of people don't think, I mean that in that people move through life through emotion. I didn't know that a lot of people do not have inner monologue. And because they don't have inner monologue, they don't think about what they're getting ready to say and how they're going to respond to people. And they're driven solely on emotion. And once the emotion, my camera's blurry, once the emotion is triggered, that's when they think. And I think that's really interesting. I think that's very, very, very interesting when it comes to things like content creation. And maybe that's something I should have put in the other video, but honestly, I don't care. But I think that goes into when people say, hey, those are NPC that I'm interacting with. They're NPC are throughout the world. I think that's kind of what they're making reference to. Imagine everyone having inner monologue. Imagine that. Imagine everyone having inner monologue and dialogue. And for all I know, you guys are moving off emotion, and anytime I say something, it's specifically driven by an emotional response. And if I don't trigger an emotional response, you're not going to type in the chat and say something to me. Or maybe you guys are intellectuals as well, and you prefer to chew on and think about what's being said before you say it, thus not saying anything at all until maybe a day or two later, to where you're interacting with me and saying, hey, remember that thing you said the other day? Remember this, remember that? And I find it, and again, I find it interesting because I made a video about that. Hey, don't be mad that there's a topic about you, you know, that sometimes some people make for good content. It is what it is. That's not an offense. That's not a thing. Just made for good, just made for good content. And I think a lot of the world is very self-centered. I try not to put myself in that category where it's like, hey, you're selfish. You know, there's a lot of things that I do, and there's a lot of things that I ask for of people, so I can get things done. But I try so hard not to be in a position where I'm being self-centered or I'm being selfish. I use the military for example, right? In the military, there's people that try to dodge, getting work done, and they get mad at me because, hey man, you are you're just shilling to the military, or hey man, you're self-serving because you want me to take a PT test, or you want me to go on this mission. And I'm like, no, the mission's the mission, you know? The mission's the mission. Here goes my personal answer on feelings. I'm able to separate the two. But here's the military answer that I'm giving you, and I have to go by that one because that's who I work for. There's nothing selfish about it. But what I do think would be selfish is say, "Hey, I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing this solid, and then while I'm doing you this favor, or you're doing me a favor, sorry, while you're doing me this favor, while you're doing me this solid, I then just kind of throw you on the bus and just not do right by you." I think that's kind of selfish. So if I was like, hey, I need you to go on this one-way mission to hell, and then you go back, it's like, yo, I did my best. I did my one-way mission to hell. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's what's up. You did your one-way mission to hell. You know what? I'm going to give you a negative eval. Why did you do that? Because, instead of shooting 50 bullets, you went over that. You shot 55. I think that's selfish. I think you're being a jerk, It's due to our hyper connect but socially disjointed lives. Yeah, there's a lack of fundamental understanding in our community now. Yeah, there's a lack of fundamental. Yes, absolutely. Gecko, I agree with that. I agree with that. That's kind of where I'm at now with, and thus the thing in the question that I was asking the community. And for that matter, I don't mind, you know, blocking people. I don't mind being freaking rude right back to people, especially people that don't understand the culture that you are living in, right? And right now, I believe that we're in a space, more specifically American people, I believe that we're in a space to where we can be overly criticized because of the circumstances, thus people being rude, in addition to the culture of the internet and what the internet is. My sons are having that problem right now. My kids are my two oldest kids are COVID kids. I think I'm pretty sure they're doing a study on that, or I'm sure there is a study out there on that about COVID kids. But I will have to admit, sometimes my kids can be socially awkward because of the 2 to 3 years of being awkward with COVID, and doing things online. So majority of their interactions are FaceTime, texting, Instagram, Snapchat, and things like that. Yo, Tekken House, what's up? How's it going, man? I think we'll actually get to Tekken today. I think we'll actually get Tekken Day after we get through some of these topics. Um, Kill Billy, hear me out. Fatal Fury, Wild Ambition. It was so much fun, but in terms of nuts and bolts of a good fighting game engine, it just wasn't there, especially when compared to Street Fighter EX games. Ooh. But is that the worst? Is that the worst, bro? But Kill Billy, welcome in. I'm just chopping it up and just talking about the kind of the state and the mindset of people, and then we're gonna get right into that, right into that discussion. And I'm definitely down to have that discussion with you guys. Um, yeah, what your smile? But yeah, my kids have a really hard time connecting with people, and I try to help them in connecting with people, but they have a hard time, stepping out of their shell. And I think that's one of the issues with, gaming, just working English, enjoying talk. Hey, no doubt, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm almost 40 and became socially awkward after COVID and break. Yeah, I mean, I think generally we all are, but s- being social is something that has to be exercised. And if you don't exercise it, you'll never be social. And and that's and I'm gonna kind of leave it like this, and because I want to get to the topic of what's the worst fighting game right now. Um, or in just in general, we can talk about fighting games and what's the worst one is. Maybe you can make a tier list of saying what's the worst fighting game ever, right? Are they charging the tier list website? Are they charging people for that website still, or right now in this moment? But let's think before we move on. I personally think that there are a lot of people that are just self-centered and don't even realize how self-centered they are. There's been a feedback loop. Oh man, see, Gecko, thank you. There's been a feedback loop rewarding negativity and rewarding bad behavior. And when that bad behavior is called out, there's a lot of, what did I do? Wow, you're talking about me. No, I'm calling out the bad behavior. Why are you upset with calling out the bad behavior? And I see that a lot, especially within this space, because we're dealing with other cultures. We're definitely dealing with other cultures, and those other cultures are a whole lot more blunt than our cultures. Like I got a friend from Sweden. He's pretty blunt. And sometimes I have to respond in a very blunt way that makes me uncomfortable. Hey, you suck. Like, whoa, bro, who the fuck you think you talking to? Oh, I didn't mean it by that. I was just critiquing your matchup there. Man, shut up. Shut up. But that's not in my nature to talk that way, you know? All right, on once you get there, I'll give you my reason. Okay, bet. There's been feed. Yep, all this COVID. Big Double, what's up? How's it going? But yeah, that's kind of what kind of got my panties in a bunch this morning. Is just even after I'm saying why or asking why things are the way they are, people are still deflecting. This is sign language for deflecting, right? People are still deflecting the fact that they have bad behavior, and I find that to be problematic. But anywho's, let's talk about it today. Maybe we can do a tier list on that. Do they still have that tier list website? Does that tier list website charge you at this point? And can we make our own tier list of just fighting games in general? I maybe not. Maybe we have to create it, straight from scratch or something like that. That might be a little bit annoying. But maybe we can do that, or maybe we just make a list of games that we know, and we can do this by going to the website Fighters Generation. Fighters Generation is one of my favorite websites out there. If you're a fighting game fanatic like I am, this website Fighters Generation might just be for you. It's when I say this website is incredible and it's amazing and it's great, I mean it. If you think I said this game ain't great, just know I mean it. No, I'm messing. I'm kidding. I gotta change this. Let me put this over here. Where is the monitor? Boom, there it is. There we go. Um, this is a great website because anything that deals with fighting games, I laugh at bad behavior. Yo, Orlando, what's up, man? How's it going? I too laugh at bad behavior, but it doesn't mean it's not annoying. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Edition. That is definitely in the running for a bad game. Yeah, absolutely. The original Street Fighter is pretty bad too. But here's some games that I think, well, not games. Here's a website that I know for a fact talks about all games that you can think of that are within the fighting game community, right? Honestly, the term cheek method isn't always best. Sometimes you gotta give that same energy. Oh, wait, hold on. We're still on that. Give me 2 sec. We're gonna get to this part right here, bro. Nick, in my opinion, biblically, when they said turn the other cheek, I don't think they meant turn the other cheek. Like, hey, hit me once. You know what? I'm gonna turn the other cheek. Hit me again. No, 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 no. I don't think they meant that. I think it meant if you're gonna hit me with your best shot. You hit me, okay, little turd. Come on, hit me for real, so that I have a reason to engage in you in the way that you need to be engaged in. That's what I think it meant. But anyways, that's a story for another day. Mortal Kombat Advance may outdo FF a Wild Ambition. Now that I think about it, that game was doo doo. Whoa, let's see. Is that on Fightcade? Let's see if that's on Fightcade real fast. Let's see how bad that thing is. Because that one might be just horrible. Tekken. That's because I'm almost willing to say Tekken Advance is pretty bad. Kill Billy. I think that one's really bad. Fighters Gen's been going since 2000. Yeah, Joel, it's been going for a long time, bro. Let's see if they got Mortal Kombat Advance. Oh, they don't have it. They don't have Mortal Kombat Advance here. And I don't feel like pulling up another emulator for it. The original Street Fighter and the original Mortal Kombat should get a pass. They were the first to market. Oh, no, no. All right. I think that's a good topic then. The original Street Fighter and the original Mortal Kombat should get a pass because they were the first to market and were able to be, I guess you could say, redone and built upon, right? That's a good thought. I can somewhat say that for Street Fighter. The reason why I can't say that for Street Fighter, though, is because we had games like Karate Champ, right? Like I think we forget. We go, well, Street Fighter is the first fighting game, right? Technically, for the purpose of what fighting games are today, in the business model of what fighting games are today, yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely. But then we got to remember there were games like Karate Champ that says, hey, that game could have been that much better. Like they knew that the game was unresponsive. If you go back and play like Capcom's arcade collection, there are a bunch of beat 'em up games that are just trash. They're just not good. Not good at all, right? And they built Street Fighter with the idea of, hey, we can build a game that people are going to think that's novel, right? And we want their quarters, so we're going to intentionally make sure it doesn't function the way it's supposed to function. That's how a lot of arcade games worked in the 80s and the early 90s. Oh, it's flashy, it looks cool, it looks great, it looks simple. And then when you play it, the game isn't as responsive as it's supposed to be because it wants more money and wants more quarters. It's like, no, I know I don't suck. So it's like, okay, put another quarter in or put another 50 cents in so that you can prove that you don't suck. So I'm willing to stand on business and say, Street Fighter, it sucks, period. Street Fighter, original Street Fighter, that is, it sucks, period. While Mortal Kombat, I can give it some grace because they actually tried. Games still work like that at County Fair? Yeah, facts. Hey, Holla, what's up, man? Thanks for the lurk. I appreciate you. You just finished making. I need to make coffee myself. I'm getting ready to make coffee because Kill Billy over here is wanting to fight me. Street Fighter 1 was ass even for its time. Oh yeah, very much so. The Mortal Kombat 1 story were bad, but I love they were bad. Okay, you can argue for original Mortal Kombat because it wasn't a awful game, but the original Street Fighter, yeah, I'm having a I'm having a really hard time with just saying, hey, the original Street Fighter is like, yeah. They were standard practice, but I can't give Street Fighter a pass because that was standard practice. Because here it is. If they built it the way that it was supposed to be built, we could stand on it because during let's see what get let's see that's why Fighters Generation is important, right? That's why the Fighters Generation is really important when it comes to games and gaming and all that good stuff. Let's pull this up on Fighters Generation. Let's go to features. We're going to go to fighting game timeline and just kind of really understanding where it all began and what we need to be talking to and talking about, right? Let's go over here. Man, this was a great idea because now we can make a really good video. Sneeler, hello. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in. Oh, you like video games too? No, it's not just you. I'm on multiple platforms streaming. And if you're on the vertical one right there, you just go to the one that's landscape, or you can come to Twitch and you'll see more people. But hello, how are you doing, Sneeler? 12. I hope all is well with you. Hi. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Y'all see what I'm talking about? I was just talking about this morning, and then people will be like, oh, y'all, why'd you make a video about it? Freaking rude. Anywho's, you freaking mad because CJ, you're being rude. MD Soul, MD, you're being rude. You're being rude, MD. Oh, why are you being so rude? Oh, God, you're being so rude. Anywho's. All right, let's start right here. And why I'm like, nah. No. I cannot give Street Fighter any grace. Because here goes one of the first fighting games is Year R Kung Fu. This was a game that was released in the 80s, and it look at it. I remember the discussion about this game, and it was on the NES, if I'm not mistaken. Does it say what it was, what platforms? Yeah, MSX, NES, Commodore 64, Amiga. It was on all sorts of different platforms. It was on all sorts of different platforms that were out there, and it played pretty decently to my understanding, right? And then we have international karate. I'm surprised they didn't put karate champs on here, but this is how karate. There was a karate champ version of this that was on the Nintendo, right? They said it was on the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color. I guess that was a little bit later on down the line, but I do remember this one specifically being released on Nintendo, and it was called Karate Champ. Let me see. Let me see. Let me double check. Karate. God damn it. I accidentally closed out of the daggone thing. I closed out of it. Karate Champ. Here it is. Karate Champ. This right, and when did it release? Release date. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. 1984. All right, so now let's go back over here with the Fighters Generation. Fighters Generation, because it's a great source, it's a great resource, I think, when it comes to gaming and all those things. Features, fighting games, and then we're gonna go all the way to the bottom, 1984. Knowing that these games exist during that time, I cannot stand here and say Street Fighter gets a pass for being bad. My release date was 1985. This is where I started existing. But so 1987, they had Street Fighter, and then Street Smart. I remember this one. Another good one. This was a great freaking game. What did they give it? It was mediocre. Okay, it's mediocre. Maybe I have nostalgic eyes because I haven't played it in so long, right? But like they had Street Fighter, Street Smart. And so, in my opinion, the fact that 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, within 4 years, they were able to release Street Fighter 2 and Fatal Fury. That means they already knew that game was doo-doo.
I'm not homeless.
What's up, Crazy? How's it going? They already knew that game. They already knew the game was doo-doo. They knew that game was horrible. They knew that game was trash, right? They understood that the game that they had to be played better. The original Street Fighter, do you guys realize what the original Street Fighter was? It was a novelty act. You get to, let's see if we can find that. Original Street Fighter machine. It was a novelty act. There it is. There it is. And this is why I'm like, no. I cannot give it a pass. Capcom was pretty much doing what Nintendo is doing now and saying, hey, we're gonna experiment with stuff and we're gonna do some really cool things. Let's see if it works. Let's see if this works. Let me see if I can open this image. Can we open open? I want to open this image. Oh, this is on Reddit. Open image on new tab. Look at this. So the original Street Fighter, what they did was have two pads as you're playing. And as you're playing, you hit the pad. And the harder you hit it, that will make it do a heavy punch. The harder you hit the kick button, the harder you'll put out a heavy punch. That is insane to add to a non-responsive game. Nah, I am taking account to it. I'm definitely taking account to it. It's bad. It does not get a pass, bro. We can acknowledge that the graphics were decent, but the gameplay was just not there. It just wasn't it. You know, I mean, if that's the case, we got to continue to give grace to all the games that keep on releasing that are bad in gaming today, and we have to be like, well, it's bad, but we got to give it a pass. Look at the graphics. We just can't do that. You know, The lore of Mash. Yes, crazy. That's that's probably where it comes from. I'm mashing the button and it's not coming out. So in addition to having to hit that pad there, you had the motion inputs. I cannot give Street Fighter a pass and saying that, understand what it was for its time. I just can't. I just can't. Especially when you have games that actually work, like International Karate, and then you have the game Street Fight that came in, right before, right after that. No, not Street Fight. I say that Street Smart that came in like 2 years after. The graphics don't change that drastically, right? So we all agree Shaq Fu is better. Stop it. Stop it. It's bad in its own right. I can admit that even though I enjoyed that game as a kid, that doesn't mean that game was actually good. I will say that, right? Because here goes the next part, right? Let's go down the like World Heroes. I don't think World Heroes was a good game. I think it was horrible. I think it was bad from top to bottom. But according to what we're saying in the chat right now, we got to give it a pass because graphically, they were doing some things during that time. I mean, graphically, it was on par with Street Fighter 2. Because the company didn't want to make it anymore, Kill Billy. That's what it is. I mean, that's that. There's a lot of fighting games. I mean, look at Bloody Roar. Bloody Roar was a great game. It's not here today, but that doesn't that's not a. I don't think that's a basis to give the game grace. And by the way, that's what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about the game being good or bad. We all acknowledge the game being bad. But we're saying, should we give the game grace? I don't think we should give that game grace, man. I don't think it deserves any grace. Anybody remember that karate beat 'em up, a platformer on Atari? Kung Fu? You're talking about Kung Fu Tech now? Or Mike? Hey, what's up, Mr. Rager? How's it going? This is why Fatal Fury 1 is better than Street Fighter 1? What? No, Fatal Fury. Ah. All right. History lesson. So Street Fighter was done. It was the developers from Street Fighter, or the developer from Street Fighter, he stopped working for Capcom. Technically, Fatal Fury is the sequel to the original Street Fighter based off a developer that left Capcom to create the game over there at SNK. Street Fighter 2 was released in the same year, but it ended up being the better game because the company, Capcom, took a lot of the lessons learned and said, we want to apply that to this game, and we're going to take the characters that are already there and we're going to flush them out to make a better game. So I can't necessarily say that Fatal Fury is better than Street Fighter. Fatal Fury 1 is better than Street Fighter 1. They're not on the same playing field because they're not competing against each other. It would be Fatal Fury and Street Fighter 2 that are competing against each other. In the same way, during this time, you can be like, well, Mortal Kombat 1 is better than Street Fighter 2. Well, yes, that's true. But that's not the game it's competing up against, right? It's competing up against Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Now, if you say Street Fighter 2 Turbo going against Mortal Kombat 1, well, Street Fighter 2 Turbo is probably going to do better, right? Or Street Fighter 2, or you see Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, and there's a listing game. Personally, during that time, I played a lot of Art of Fighting. That's the game that I liked the most during that time. I had it on my Sega. It was a really enjoyable experience for me. But again, look at all the advancements that happened from 87 to about 91. Yes, the creator of Fatal Fury created Street Fighter. Yes. So that's why I'm saying technically the predecessor to the original Street Fighter is Fatal Fury, not Street Fighter 2. But Street Fighter 2 is the official part 2 of Street Fighter. Dimps, yeah. What's the apple for? Shaq Fu was good for a laugh as a rental. I got my $3.50 worth. That's funny. They created the 6-button layout after. Yes, they did. Even back then, we knew Street Fighter 1. Yes. Button drummer, yes, absolutely. So we all agree Shaq. No, I'm not going to get. All right. Where were we at? Well, your release date was 89, Mike? 1989? Okay. You're getting up there. You're creeping up there. 37. You're creeping up there. You're almost up there with me, man. I get why people give MK1 a pass because it was their first attempt, but I still think some of its design decisions shaped the series in weird ways. Mortal Kombat focuses a lot on spectacle and difficulty spikes early, while Street Fighter was already leaning towards competitive systems. So even if Mortal Kombat 1 was experimental, you can still see how some of those early choices affected the future games. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Kill Billy. I see what you said. You said MK1 came out 5 years after Street Fighter 1. Yeah, yeah. You said that before I got here. Okay, I see where you can. Oh, I'm glad you asked. And why I'm sticking to my. You're 80. Oh, 84. Oh, you're a year older than I am. Ouch. I'm glad you asked, my friend. I'm glad you asked, Kill Billy, because that's what Rate That Forward. That's what Rate That Fighter is about, and why I'm standing on like business when it comes to my criteria and what is what when it comes to these games, right? Um, I've been doing this for like the last 3 years, and just documenting and playing all these different fighting games and trying to figure out like what is considered a good game and why is it considered a good game, right? And this started because a friend of mine said Killer Instincts was better than Tekken 7. I was like, nah, I don't know about that. He said, as a matter of fact, popsicle. Oh, you were guessing Karate Game. Oh, fair enough. I respect it, Mike. Then they said Killer Instincts is better than Mortal Kombat 11. I was like, that makes a little bit more sense, but you're pushing it. The Killer Instincts is better than Street Fighter 5. I said, I'll buy that. And then what really triggered it was Killer Instincts, the modern Killer Instincts, hands down, is the best fighting game ever. And it's better than Street Fighter 4, Third Strike. It's better than any Tekken that you can ever imagine and fathom. And I was like, dude, no, you done lost it. You done lost your mind, man. I don't, dude. Killer Instincts is good, but it's not so good that it's like, no. I just kind of refuse. Now, if you do it off nostalgia and this feels like what it used to back in the day, I'll play that game with you. But we can't just flat out say that Killer Instincts is the best game, because kind of going back to the other point that I had made earlier, it's like you can argue, well, we're still playing the game, but that doesn't mean that it's the best, right? Well, this company still exists, but we're still playing Killer Instinct. So is that really a criteria to say that that game is better than that one? or the company lasted a longer time. The original company that created Killer Instincts, it wasn't them necessarily that built most of the Killer Instincts. They don't own that anymore. Rare is it's kind of been dissolved into Microsoft. They are fair. All right, so let's start with here. I'm going to start with Mortal Kombat, right? And I did this on purpose to where it's like, because I was trying to hit on everything that makes people go, "Oh, I like that game. That game, it's so dope. I love the game so much." Because there've been so many times that someone said, "I like I like Street Fighter 2." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I don't think it was that great." I'm just making this kind of conversation up, right? "I don't think it's that great." "Well, why don't you think it's great?" "Well, because kind of the gameplay that was there, it was very glitchy, it stalled out. There's a lot of things that are there that just didn't make sense mechanically." "Oh, bro, man, but that intro." That's where that comes into play. Street Fighter 2 had a great intro. Amazing intro. So I factor that in. And I'm like, man, the intro wasn't all that great, man, but that character select screen there, man, dog. That character select screen, man, I was hooked. Like, I got to see all the character. Like, all right, cool, character select screen. And then, oh, that game had, like a 40-man roster by the time it released on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Man, they had so many different characters that you can use. But then my argument would be, like, for example, in rival schools on the PlayStation, when it's like, yo, you got so many extra characters, where they were clones, right? Or for that matter, when we talk about Street Fighter, they are all Shotos. So you have Ken, Ryu, Dan, Akuma, Sakura. That's all in Street Fighter Alpha, right? That's five Shotos. So yes, they play a little bit different each one, but it doesn't negate the fact that they're still a Shoto. So it's like, what about, so you can just take those ones away for the viability, right? But then it goes into, well, technically, character design. Mortal Kombat. The ninjas weren't the same, but they could have been a little bit better with the design, like what they are doing right now with all the ninjas. Ermac, Reptile, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Rain, they all look different now. So they're not just Mortal Kombat ninjas anymore. So that character design matters and makes a difference there too. And then you have game mechanics, right? Game mechanics are just as important as anything else. Hey, what does this combo system look like? What is the gimmick that goes into this game? Does this game feel good in the hands? What is this game clunky? Does this game ultimately make sense? And I think that's kind of where Street Fighter comes into play when we're talking about, like, bro, like, it plays horribly. Like, it cannot get any points. And you notice the point system, there's certain areas that just, make a little bit more sense than others. And then you got game design. And I think that plays into, like, hey, what does the game actually look like? What the character model? Is it a 2D sprite? Is it a 2.5D sprite? Is it a 3D sprite? Is it how is it made? How is this Unreal Engine affecting it? And then we're talking about the stage backgrounds. We're talking about how colorful it is and how great it was, right? And then we have character customizations option, because that is a factor. I know in Tekken for sure that was definitely a factor in the way that I picked my character. Like, hey, I like this version of Harong. I don't like the motorcycle Harong. I like the jumpsuit Harong, and that makes me play better. But then there's other games that just have palette swaps, and I just like this color. That's a story for another day. Um, Man, that's a mental factor that goes into there, and I do like that. But that doesn't negate the fact that there's not a lot of options in games like Street Fighter, the original Street Fighters, that allow you to play the game more. Then we have the music. The music makes a huge difference in the way that you play the game. There's a lot of games that are out there that are actually really good, but the music just turns you off, right? And then you have outros and game endings. No BOB. Yeah, right. No BOB. You got outros and game endings. Like, how does that outro work? How does that game? Do I want to continue to play this game? Right? Then, does this game have replay value? There's a lot of games that are out there, like, for example, Tekken 8 right now. It has replay value because there's online. But if this was 1990 something and there was there was no internet, technically a lot of these fighting games that we have right now, they don't have real replay value outside of I'm playing competitively. And I've said that before. It's like, yo, the one player experience, it's just not there. It really isn't. It really isn't. It's not there at all. And then we have overall look and feel, right? The overall look and feel is important because sometimes the game itself, in these smaller aspects, it's bad, but when you put it all together, it's actually good, right? So now let's get to this part right here, and this is the part where I was like, this is the factors that you talk about from time to time, right? Does it have additional gameplays and mode? The game overall was just bad, but man, the gameplay, the game modes that go along with it, they're great. I think about games like Tobal Number One. Anybody know that game, Tobal Number One? Gameplay, but it had a lot of additional gameplay and modes. Like they had this dungeon crawling mode that was actually really cool. I was like, yo, that is dope, man. It's really cool. Or Soul Calibur. It had an RPG mode. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus uses that mode too. I thought that was really cool. Does it have a good story? A lot of games don't have any stories anymore, but Mortal Kombat 9, I take in consideration. It has a great story. But Mortal Kombat 9, it's like, They're like, oh, Mortal Kombat 9 is better. Go back and play that thing, and you'll be like, it's not that great. Online gameplay, and I think that's a factor too. But if it's anything after 2009, I will rate it and attempt to give it a deserving rating in this extra credit category. But if it's anything before 2009, I automatically give it a 10 points because it wasn't meant to be played online. Like, for example, Fightcade, all those games on Fightcade, I'm glad there's opportunities for people to play those games and they play well on Fightcade, but that's not fair to say that game plays well online because that wasn't it. That was some passionate developers that wanted to make sure that other people had a good experience. And then if you go, well, what about the Fighters Collection? Well, their priority isn't that. Their priority isn't to make sure that you have a good experience playing Darkstalkers. Their priority is preserving their game and making sure that you're not playing it on Fightcade and they're trying to make money off of it, right? So that's kind of why I do that. So it's like, hey, Darkstalkers automatically gets like a 10. If Mortal Kombat 3 in this case gets a 10 because it was done before 2009 and its purpose wasn't to be played online. And then, of course, we have, was it good for its time? So now you see Mortal Kombat 3, it has a B-. I don't think that's a bad grade. That's very valuable. King of Fighters 94, C. It needed some room to grow. It definitely needed some room to grow. Skullgirls, B-. Battle Arena to Shinden. Anybody remember that? I thought it was a great game. But I was using my nostalgia mind. The game sucks. Got an F. It's very bad. SNK Heroines. That was decent. But Virtual Fighter 5, B-. B-. Now, I think this one we can go back and revisit, especially when we're talking about Virtual Fighter Revo and all the new stuff that's added to Virtual Fighter. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I don't know if that's fair to say Sega has just been tinkering with that game. So I'm pretty sure there's other people that would say differently. Here goes what got us here. Street Fighter, F. Bro, top to bottom. This game's just not good. Power Instincts, got a C. Eternal Champions, who remembers Eternal Champions on Sega? A C. Killer Instincts 2. That was actually really good. That was actually a solid freaking fighting game. That got an A. Killer Instincts, the original Killer Instincts, it got an 85. I think that's fair. The original Mortal Kombat, it got a D. I think I'm being fair here. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, got a C. But you're seeing where I'm going at with this. If KOF 2002 isn't an A plus, I'm throwing the nearest share. What did I rate that one? Let's see what I rated that as, because here's the part that you got to think about. Was KOF 2002 better than KOF 13? And I'm willing to say no. I'm willing to say no. And that's where I like to discuss and talk about it's like, what are you basing it off of? Are you basing it off of just because you like the game? Or are you basing it off of, it got a C minus. You can go ahead, throw your chair. What are you basing this off of? You know, was it like 2001? I thought was the better game, and it got a B. You know, King of Fighters 2000, I thought was 98 got a B minus. 95, I think 95 got the higher grade, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. But I don't think they did what they were supposed to do. As far as, you know, consistently play, because boom, here it is. King of Fighters 13 got an A minus. And the only thing that I will like aggressively argue about that, right? What was that about Battle for the Grid? We got to see. The only thing I aggressively argue about that, KOF released a new game almost every single year. Thus 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. And then they went into this 3D thing. And then we got KOF 13. KOF 13 is ultimate, from where I stand at, is the best of KOF if they're constantly tweaking their game to make it better and better and better. If you're constantly tweaking your game to make it better and better and better than the last one, I don't think those 2000 ones try to improve on what they did on the last time. So now again, we go to KOF 13. I think that's the better one. I really do. Because here it is, KOF 14, C plus. I think we generally can agree with that, you know. 2002 is widely considered the best KOF made. The roster, the game modes, responsiveness, it was peak. I don't know, because from where I sit at, KOF 13 is the game that's considered a masterpiece when it comes to that. Because and then on top of that, I haven't seen people say, hey, we're running a tournament for KOF 2002. From my standpoint, in my seat and where I'm looking at, we're talking about Evo and all this stuff, and Combo Breaker, it's 95 and 98 as like, hey, this is what's considered what we play on a regular basis, and then 13 if there's nothing else. Is wait. I don't know what to tell you on that one. If you're basing it off of like one thing, and that's kind of, you're seeing how I rate these. That's one thing, right? Then we go into the overall outlook, and that's how we got here. How are you basing this off of? And so generally in my mind, I'm like, I know how I rate games and how I do rate that fighter. And after rating, like, I mean, shoot, we're like at 90 something or something like that, rating multiple games. You know, you kind of get numb to the same thing over and over again. It's almost like where I stand at is very similar to how movie critics stand, right? Movie critics stand. People go, how could the movie critic say that movie wasn't that great? How can you say that Avengers Endgame wasn't a good movie? Well, if you watch many movies, if they watched and you're like, oh, I've seen this before. Oh, that was very predictable. Well, yeah, you had a great cast, but just because you had a great cast doesn't necessarily mean that the movie is just going to go be spectacular and go over there. But it made $1 million. Okay, cool, but that doesn't negate the fact that the movie was predictable and it wasn't as enjoyable as the original movie, right? So just because the game has a lot of characters doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best game that you possibly can play. Because if that's the case, there's a lot of Mugen games out there that people play and enjoy, and we can say, well, let's throw Mugen in there because it has 100 characters in there, right? Or for that matter, we say Mortal Kombat, what is it, Anthology that was out, or Trilogy. Was it Trilogy when they had all the Mortal Kombat characters in their clones? Are we gonna say that was the best Mortal Kombat, or are we gonna say something else, right? So I can't necessarily agree with those statements that are being made. And again, I'm not mad. Hopefully, you guys aren't mad either. It's just a discussion of opinions and where we stand, and this is how I'm rating and giving criteria for the games. I give KOF a B plus. I'll play that game with you. I'll play that game with you. Then Jackie Chan, Last Blade. Thought Last Blade, an SNK game. Thought that was freaking great. Last Blade 2, it was solid. And notice, I'm not giving failing grades. It'd be one thing where it's like, yo, the game failed. No, it didn't fail. It didn't fail. And I think that would go to my bigger point of all when we're talking about fighting games and gaming in general. I think that goes into my bigger point. Like, if the game's viable, I would say a game's viable if it's anything like a C plus and higher. And it's okay to like those games, It's just not for everybody. It's just not for everybody. And then my other argument would be like, hey, if people truly believe that these games are as great as they are, it's like, dude, are you playing competitively? You get when I say that? I get tortured when I say that Dark Knight was rehash of No, I feel you, Joel. I feel you. Well, we do all got opinions, right? And that's why I try to encourage. I'm like, yo, I do this regularly. I do. I mean, shoot, I just posted like 2 videos within the last 2 weeks in reference to rating games and how we feel about games. I have a whole playlist called Rate That Fighter, and there's a lot of stuff in that playlist, but nobody really engages. Then when you get to these moments, I'm gonna throw a chair. Don't throw a chair. You put your chair down. Put it down. Project Justice was amazing. But it still got a C plus. There was a lot of things that didn't work well with Injustice. Like, and I think that's kind of to my point. I love Injustice. I think Injustice is a really good game. But to rate it fairly in the way that I've been rating all the other games, that's what I had to give it, right? It's very repetitive in its combos, you know. It has a lot of clone characters. There's like three versions of Batsu, right? Like, why are there so many different versions of Batsu? What was the purpose of that? I don't understand that, And there was just so many things that could have been better for this game, even though I am in love with Rival Schools. I have very fond memories of it. And until this day, periodically, I'll link up with some friends and we're just like, hey, let's play some Rival Schools. Big Bad Wolf is the homie. And Big Bad Wolf's like, yeah, let's get some Rival Schools in. I literally just played this with the homie Big Mike out here in St. Louis. We went to a barcade. Boom, there was Rival Schools. We played Rival Schools together, man. And I enjoyed myself. But that doesn't negate the fact that there's some areas that could be worked on in the game. So just because we love the game and really enjoy the game doesn't necessarily mean that it's deserving of a high grade, or just acknowledging that the game is what it is, even now, right? Even now, let's go into what we call the best tag game ever, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Me personally, I think there's a whole lot of other games that play better than Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm almost willing to say, no, I'm not going to say it because y'all going to get mad. But Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it's a broken game. It's very broken. Are we not willing to acknowledge that the game is broken? Well, you got to understand there's a lot of characters in there. I don't, I hear you, but a lot of characters don't make the game. The sprites were beautiful. Well, Dragon Ball Fighter sprites are beautiful. Actually, Dragon Ball Fighter sprites look better than Marvel vs. Capcom 2. There's a lot of games that look better than Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And in my opinion, and this is a hot take, I believe that they were lazy in their sprites. Same thing with CVS 2. CVS, they were lazy with their sprites. But SNK versus Capcom, they made new sprites for everybody. I was like, yo, I appreciate that. I appreciate you doing that. Yusuke, what's up? How's it going, man? You have to watch them. Yeah. So in some videos, I don't break it down to the nth degree, but overall, I break them down. I used to love Saturday Night Slam Master. Does that count as a fighting game? I don't know. I don't know, Button Drummer. By the way, Button Drummer, I didn't. I meant to get back in the chat. I was so focused on beating freaking shooter looter. I was like, I want to focus. So I turned off the sound and talk. I wasn't pissy or anything. I just wanted to focus. But no, next time we get into VC, let's talk about that. It's like, what qualifies for a fighting game? Is broken by design? Ah, man, I disagree. I think they threw a whole bunch of characters at the wall to see if it sticks. And it's like, here goes a game. And people liked it. I don't think that was intentional. Rival Schools 2 in Japan had a character customization that was fire. I do remember that. They had something similar to that on the original Rival Schools. That was a Japan release, and you got to go around the school and date people, but they didn't relate. It didn't release in the United States, but it still was 2 discs. Yeah, absolutely. It's super lazy, bro. X-Men vs Street Fighter play better. Yeah, Joel. Yes, I agree with that. 1,000%. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is truly broken, and people act like it's good Yeah. People complain about modern tag games because they can't do broken BS in MVC2 was doing. I agree. MVC2 flat out didn't care about it, didn't, and nobody complained about it. Master was OG Smash Fighter. Yeah, it's sure enough. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold that thought. Wait, I got something to show you. Wait. I think I think this is my point. I think this is my point. Anytime someone comes in the chat or anybody tries to challenge them, like, yo, what are you talking about? You a fool, man. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'll go, when's the last time you played that game? And for that matter, it doesn't matter if you're like super duper good at it, because you're not gonna be good at every single game out there, right? But it's like, what are we talking about here? When's the last time you played that game, right? Hey, look at this, Button Drummer. I can argue with you on that one. You see that? You see that, Button Drummer? We can talk about this game. You know, we can talk about these games. I don't talk about them because I'm just talking off the top of my head, and I'm using different resources so that we can talk about the game, you know. So I don't have to pull it out of my collection or anything like that. What else I got? Oh, so I talk about them because majority of the time I have them, you know. From, you know, here goes Tekken Tag and Tag 2, and Tekken 6. I still have these and I revisit them. I'm like, what? Am I insane? Am I crazy? Tekken, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I even have that on Steam, right? Uh, it was peak, right? Tekken 5. Like, oh, Tekken 5. Like, yeah, I'm not the best Tekken player in the world, but it's not like I'm not out there revisiting these games and saying, hey, what was that game like? How can I get a better understanding of it? I mean, oh, Tekken Tag was better than Tekken Tag 2. I heard that before, and here it is. It's like, what are we talking about here? Oh, well, what about Tekken 2? What about Tekken? It's right here. It's right here. I have these. I have these games. And that's how we're able to go back and revisit them and play a lot of these things. And it's like, so again, when someone says, and again, it's not about playing these games competitively. It's just playing these games, period. Because if you play these games, period, you're gonna naturally, be able to get a good feel of the game. And again, if you play one game, you're gonna be able to play a majority of games, right? If you play Street Fighter and you're really good at Street Fighter 2, 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna be good at Darkstalkers, right? If you play Mortal Kombat 4, I'm gonna say that one because Mortal Kombat 3 on back, that was a different type of Mortal Kombat. But if you just play Mortal Kombat 4 on up, I'm like, yeah, you play that game. So you're probably naturally gonna be good at Injustice. So you kind of have a leg to stand on when you have a discussion with Injustice. So you don't have to be good at it. You just have to be like, yo, I played it recently, and without my nostalgic eyes and being used to playing a game that we're playing now, yeah, I can admit that this game isn't what it is. Man, I haven't found that yet. I had it and then I traded it in. There's a lot like Tekken 1 and Tekken 3. Tekken 1, no, 1, 3, and 4, I can't find anymore. And I'm having a hard time finding them. I had 3 and 1 growing up, and then I traded it in at Babbage's. Same thing with Rival Schools. I traded in Rival Schools at Babbage's, and I haven't been able to find them ever since, man. So I'm on this journey to go and try to find these different games that are out there, man. But anyways, let's go. Let's keep on going. Gym Fighter B plus. There again. There's a lot of games here that I'm like, and maybe we can just go back and visit a lot of these games, right? I don't think I mind visiting any of these games here, if you guys don't mind visiting the games with me. But let's visit more of these. Maybe we can just get at a deeper dive in a lot of these fighting games. All right, maybe we can get in a deeper dive in a lot of these things. I'd love to go on a deep dive with you. And yeah. With that, is there any fighting game that you guys can think of today? Any fighting games that you guys can think about today that that maybe we can rate and talk about? Anybody have any idea? Jet Set Radio. Oh, that's a good game. I played that on they did re-releases on the 360. Really good. Jonathan, what's up, man? How's it going? HDMI. I heard that one, P3. Justice League Task Force. That is a bad game. Let's rate it. All right, let's do that. That game is awful. So if you guys have the free time or have the ability to play this game with me, please, let me know. We already rated King of Fighters 99. We done that before. But yeah, let's Justice League, especially being on topic of what's the worst fighting game that you've ever played. That's the topic that we have on the screen there. Let's take a look at that one. Let's definitely take a look at that. Let's see. It should be here. Justice League. So they got the Super Nintendo. Let's go with the Super Nintendo one. Let's go with the Super Nintendo one right here. And let's do a Rate That Fighter for that. Let's change the Twitch channel to retro. Let's go to Twitch. Let's change the Twitch channel to retro, and we just kind of take it from there. Creators, dashboard, stream manager, and then we're going to change this to retro. And then once we change it, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'm not tough enough. I don't mind admitting that I'm not tough enough, but dude. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do this anyway. Let me see. I know it's I know they have it on Fighters Generation. Let's see. I'm gonna try not to let this change my outlook, but I need to see if they even acknowledge this game on their Justice League Task Force. They do, and there it is. We have Superman, Batman, Flash. It's not even a big roster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 characters. Well, technically 8. I think you have to unlock Darkseid on this particular game. And yeah, I'm gonna close my eyes so I don't look, so I can scroll past. All right, I scroll past it, and he gives a little review there. Not only oh my god, you're torturing me, my friend. We're gonna do it though. We're gonna do it. When did this game release? 1995, October 20. Released. That's how you know it's bad. It released in the United States first, and then it released in Japan. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. The magazines. They don't even give you the ability to have a practice mode in this thing. You know what? You know what? I'll be right back. Well, we're gonna get to this. Be right back.
What up, y'all? My name is Warren, but y'all might know me from around Mixer and Twitch as Mr. Wicked. I'm a proud father and husband, an independent music producer, MC, and owner of Mad Funk Entertainment. Like my man CJ, I'm a fighting game fan, and I enjoy competing for bragging rights even if I'm not in the #1 spot at the end of the day. As a gamer, I live for and love games that encourage customization. Anytime I find strategic elements in games that alter what I can do or how I can do it, I fall in love with gaming all over again. So if you dig pop culture references, positive vibes, superheroes, and hip hop, stop by and hang out with your boy. Peace.
Yeah, look, come on. Yeah, I'm living in the moment. That's when you gotta own it. That's all you really got, you know. Look, it's like case closed. Go figure, stay to myself. People really do not get the picture. When I hit the beat drop, I proceed to rock the MIC. Best believe I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve. I'm no Houdini. When I hit the stage, they all like who he be. Case on from Tennessee, positive energy. People mad when the tracks I hand out freely. A sound like this, even Stevie would wanna see me. The phone's ringing. Sorry, no interruptions when I'm eating. Referring to these instrumentals, life simple. It's whatever you make it. Stop faking the secret so ancient. Why you worry about the materials that ain't shit? Get a grip for my mama, call it quits. It depends if the world ends or if I fall into the trends. Cause you never know what the future holds. That's just the way things go. Is tomorrow gonna come? I learned to take things slow in the moment. That's when you gotta own it. living in the moment, the moment, the moment. That's when you gotta own it, own it, own it. Yeah, while you lost in the simulations, I'm offering rhymes that stimulating the mind, touch the soul. Where the truth is discovered, none other like that. True world order, hip hop coming through the portal. Then it flows into my recorder. Verbal crazy like a mental disorder. Reframe the game, these lames out of order. If you're not gonna listen, then I am not gonna force ya. Forced to be reckoned with. You know what you messing with? Positive, negative. It is all relative in this general arrangement. Peace of mind, I'm just trying to attain it. Spilling my soul on the pages, and it's draining. Lost generation, lost in the fakeness. Sorry for the lateness. Change gon' come, just gotta remain patient. Cause you never know what the future holds. That's just the way things go. Is tomorrow gonna come? I learned to take things slow in the moment, the moment, the moment. That's when you gotta own it, own it, own it. I'm living in the moment, the moment, the moment. That's when you gotta own it, own it, own it. Come on, yeah, come on, come on. Shout out to Caleb on the beat, man. We living in the moment, the moment. That's when you gotta own it. You now tuned into the mind state. Yeah.
Kalara, India. I was sent here by Bison to do some research on this little temple that was out here. I had a backpack with a cell phone in it, a satellite phone in case I got lost. I had some other stuff, you know, research stuff. And I had a tour guide with me, you know, to show me around.
He was weird.
And this is what happened.
Okay. First time in India, I ain't never been here. So many trees, there were so many men there. Never had I seen such magical scenery. The weather here was tropical. A weem when we was walking through the jungle, a mighty, mighty jungle. I had a question, but I wasn't trying to sound dumb though. I wanted to know about what I heard about this dude. I wanted to know if what I heard was true. Okay. Supposedly there was this guy who was old, but was very, very strong. The master of yoga. He was well known, admired with clout. His limbs could stretch long. He spat fire out his mouth. Wait, fire out his mouth? Yeah, I didn't believe that. So if ever I saw him, then I wanted to see that, believe that. I turned around to ask the tour guide, but when I turned around, he was nowhere in sight. I was like, yo, where he go? I don't know. Did you see him? Nah, fam. Heck no. Heck no. It's like, it's almost like he teleported or something. It's almost like he teleported or something. I'm like, yo, where he go? I don't know. Did you see him? Nah, bruh. Heck no. Heck no. It's like, it's almost like he teleported or something. It's almost like he teleported or something. Now I'm alone and I'm mad. I need to use the phone. Hold on. Where's my bag? I can't believe that I just got robbed. Ball getting robbed, dog, that's just odd. That eyeball must face my wrath. As I clenched my fist, up ahead I saw the end of the path. So I didn't think he could've went too far. So to find him really shouldn't be too hard. I'm gonna find him. As I made it through the trees, that's what I was thinking. Suddenly I felt a breeze, and it's hard to explain, and it ain't that simple. See, the wind pointed my attention to a temple. When I looked out to all the villagers, my attention was brought to where a pillar was, and he was standing right there with my bag in his hand, but then he disappeared. I was like, yo, what the heck? Where he go? I don't know. Did you see him? Nah, bro. Heck no. Heck no. It's like, it's almost like he teleported or something. It's almost like he teleported or something. Yo, where he go? I don't know. Did you see him? Nah, son. Heck no. Heck no. It's like, it's almost like he teleported or something. It's almost like he teleported or something. Yeah. So when I saw that, I took off running as fast as I could, man, through the village. I ran through the village people. Pause. But the way I was moving and ducking and dodging, you would have thought my name was Ocho Cinco or something, man.
Yeah.
I was moving, man. So I got to the front of the temple. It looked very plain on the outside, but real plain, real basic. When I opened that door, man,
What happened when you opened
like, wow. It had to be one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen.
Real
It had
deal.
gold, it had pictures, the floor was all turquoise and stuff. I was like, man, it's like cribs or something. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I saw a red door at the end of the hallway. You know, usually when you see red doors, like anywhere, you think it's important or someone important
Like
is
Cooper.
behind that door. So I thought maybe the thief was like working for someone trying to get in Bison's business and all that. I need to get that backpack back. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
feel you.
I was just about to open the door, but like, I felt something on my back, and I didn't think. I just turned around and I punched as hard as I could. Like, I should have looked, but
Yeah, you shoulda looked.
I'll never forget it. What was it, man? What? Tell me. That was the time that I knocked out an elephant, man. I'm calling SPCA, SC, whatever.
We are back and welcome back. Most determined soul, CJ Berry, leader of Waves and Ways of People in Determination. CJ's who I am, Indie Soul's what I am. So you can just call me CJ. I really don't mind it. And we are checking out. Oh my God, who suggested this game? Who suggested this game? My God, I definitely feel some type of way. Who suggested this whack game? We're gonna do Rate That Fighter, and we're gonna be rating Justice League Task Force. My God, Let me turn. I gotta turn the music down. Jesus. The game's music is fire. I'm really not. I'm really not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to this, guys. I'm really not. I'm not looking forward to this. Okay, let me see if we can get the input configuration. All right, so up, left, down, right. This is on a, okay, so B, A, Y, and then X, and then start is, I'm gonna put start, and then this one enter, and then this is gonna be left, and this one's gonna be right. Okay. He said sorry. This looks sick. Oh, dude. Hey, if you have the ability to go in and play Fightcade today and right now, please, please, please go check this thing out. And right off the bat, you can already see that it doesn't have a intro screen or anything like that. It just shows the name of the game, and then it goes into this whole... It's free, Mr. Rager. It shows the character, and then it shows like a little bit of the character gameplay there. Let's go ahead. Let's go into this. Fightcade is very nice. I don't disagree with you on that. So they have these different options. Because I know this game is whack, I'm turning the difficulty down because I know this game is it's just not good. Maybe I'll turn up the gameplay later, but let's start with so we got battle. Let's battle. We'll do the story here in a second, but let's battle. Is battle arcade mode, or do I get to choose my guys? Joel. All right, so we got one. Put this right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you do get to play as Darkseid. I thought he was a boss. My favorite superhero is Batman, though. He has the best superpower, the superpower of money. He's just a normal dude that studied karate and has a lot of money. He's a smart guy, though. Let's see how this goes. All right. What? I can't jump. I can't jump diagonally. This is bad. I don't know if this is even playable, man.
Both.
I'm about to cry, man. Like I couldn't hold down and back. Is there Hey, what's up, Uncle Manny? Let's see if I can remap. Let me see if I can try to remap this, because right now I have it mapped out. Right, we just finished mapping it out, right? And enabled. Oh wait, hold on. Up left. We got to do up left. That's. Oh my God, I didn't put, you actually have to put that in there. God dang. Oh, no, this is downright. You actually got to put that in. Oh, dude. That's dumb. All right, let's keep on going. All right, now we're doing it. Now we're in business. And it's still a little clunky, but okay. Oh, there goes his batarang. Bro. This plays like, it's like, hey, how about we make Street Fighter, but with clunky mechanics like Mortal Kombat. This doesn't play well at all, guys. You knew it was the simulator. Okay. Thanks. I appreciate that, Bad Jab. Thank you. Is there no music on the stage? This plays just like Street Fighter. The Street Fighter 1 with no combos. That's how it moves. And I think that's kind of my point, right? We give Street Fighter a pass on so many different things, but when you put another coat of paint on Street Fighter, like a game like this, you realize that the original Street Fighter 2 on release, was it solid? Sure, but like this is playing like that game. I know, Nick. Bro. Oh, this is the arcade. This is the arcade mode. I thought it was like, oh, this is trash. Is this a throw loop? This one has music. The other stage didn't have music because it was in the middle of the desert. Who said this music was good? Who said that? Who's the one that said that? I need answers. I'm stressed. Mr. Rager enjoys this music because of course he does. Because of course he does. We got Aquaman. I remember Aquaman. He was pretty solid. As a kid, I picked him a couple of times. Hey, you know what? Look at this reference here. Anybody remember Injustice? The Injustice game on Aquaman stage, it looks very similar to this one. I know it's based off of the comic book, but the layout is very similar to the layout's very similar. Yes, it does kind of play like that Ninja Turtles fighter. Yeah, it definitely does. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of it. That was a 2-hit combo. Ooh. I'm getting some of this. Even the KO animation is the same. Yeah. Is it made by the same people? It's that Justice League game. That horrible Justice League game back in the day, Ollie. Bad game. Bad game, dude. And we're gonna give it a rating. Oh, you can do that. Oh, that's a good move. Okay. Ooh. Batman, what, Superman with the mullet. That's freaking hilarious, first off. Ooh. You never seen this? Oh. Bro, it's a good thing you didn't see this. I remember like renting this from the Blockbuster in my community, and yeah, this game is not it. Man, Rager, I'm disappointed. I thought Rager had better taste in music in this. He's supposed to have better taste in music than this. Ooh. Yeah, they were throwing in any and everywhere. I mean, there was like, how many Batman games were there during that time? And that Batman game on Sega that was based off of Batman Forever? A 6.5 out of 10? Oh, they got paid to give them that rating. They got paid to give them that rating. My God. Yeah, they got paid to give him that one. Konami made Teenage Mutant Ninja. They did that for a while, didn't they? So that the original Ninja Turtles game with the sewer overhead, that was by Konami for sure. That's why it was so freaking hard, especially that sewer stage, right? So it won't let you link combos. And I think this is kind of my point. Like earlier when we were talking about glitches in games and stuff like that, the way this game plays is the way that fighting games were intended to be played. You know, does that make any sense? So this is 1995. Yes, they have a combo system. You know, during that time, they know it exists, right? And you can do it. But the way this plays, imagine them never saying, hey, we're going to acknowledge the glitch and saying that glitch isn't supposed to be there. And we're playing fighting games like this. That would be insane. Insane, guys. We're going to patch out. We're going to patch out anything that allows you to combo back to back like that. Or we're going to stop it at 2. Because that's not how the game was intended to play. It's about spacing and strategy. Wouldn't that be crazy? Jeez. The music is so bad, man. It's like they said, hey, I just need you to give me a guitar riff. Okay, like this. Yeah, just like that. This is back when the timer mattered. Oh, big facts. Crimson Desert? I don't know yet, man. Crimson Desert looks like it's solid, but I've had I'm gonna wait till other people play it because it reminds me of that game New World, and everybody was going nuts about New World, and then voila, New World did New World. But it does look like it's gonna be decent though. Did they say it was gonna be like a roguelike or what? Not roguelike. Why did I say roguelike? Dark Souls. That's what I meant to say. Is it gonna be Dark Souls like? Are the Genesis and SNES versions of the game basically similar? I'm hoping so because I'm not gonna play both because this game is bad. This game is bad, my friend. Adrian Lamb, welcome in. What's up, dude? Yeah, this game ain't it. If it wasn't okay. I respect that, Ollie. Hey, the cheetah got butt cheeks and boobies. You gotta give it that. Look at Simba and Mufasa back there in the background. Oh, so wait, hold on, Joel. So the Sega one plays different? So we're gonna have to play the Sega one too, Joel? God damn it, Joel. Oh, look, they got same colors. But they're pretty, I thought they were similar. I might be remembering this wrong. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of both, man. But we'll do the rating on the Super Nintendo version. Like which one do they say is the definitive version? You don't remember which one you played, Adrian? Just says victory. That's it. That's all we got, Adrian. All it says is victory. Ooh. Hey, we won that one. Yeah, you're stressful. You're stressful, Swamp. You're stressful. How you doing, brother? How's everything going with you, man? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while, Swamp. Oh. Okay, good. Good. 3 wins away. Hey, good job, man. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Oh. Oh. Yo, Dark Side, stop it. Okay. This is on Fightcade, Taylor Swift. Been trying to find a car. Congratulations, now try higher difficulty. No, screw you, man. No, absolutely not. Like, even playing on that lower one right there, it's just like, nah. All right, go on to the next one. Let's see what it says on, so let's see what the story says here. So is it an actual story, or does it give you little pictures? Oh, and you don't get to choose from everybody either. So you have to only choose the good guys. You only have 6 characters to choose from on this version. Congrats, but get good. I don't think it's worth getting good. I really don't. Ooh, Aquaman. Almost got stepped on. stepped on. Ooh. Ooh. That timer is flying. It's going by fast. They're not seconds. They're just like. Oh. Stepped on. Oh. Oh, Aquaman. Tearing me up. You know what? The timer is like they're doing it based off of one of those, you know how you play the games like Taboo with the family and you have guests come over and you're like, why is the sand timer going so fast? That was not a minute. That's pretty much what's going on. That's the sand timer from Taboo that's going right now. Oh! I don't have it on turbo mode. The turbo, the Genesis version have better music. All right, we'll see. We'll see about we'll see about the Adrian. I'm gonna see after this because this story mode is freaking whack. Oh wow, did that stall out? There we go. Hot dog. Hey, hot dog. Yeah, that was a very short 2 seconds. Jesus Christ. All right. So what next with the story? This is insanity. Why would a Justice League member attack me for no reason? I better go talk with. Oh, is all. You know what? You know what? We can always come back to this. Let's get out of Let's go. Justice. Let's look this up again. Justice League. Let's see the other one. This is let's look at the Sega one. The Sega one looks a little bit more gritty, but I think generally I'm willing to say we're getting ready to get the same results. We're about to get the same results here. Map inputs. Let's map these inputs out real quick, like. Up, down, left, right, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and then let's go, button 4? Let's go with this button 4. What's this? No, that's player 2 start. So we're gonna go. Mode is 6. Start is 4. Okay. How am I playing? It's this thing called Fightcade. You can play on to play these. You type in Fightcade in Google, and it brings you to a site, and it has one of those. It bring you to it. It's absolutely free. So Hero mode, player versus CPU, player versus. Let's try player versus CPU first. All right, so okay, this looks a little bit better. The Sega version does look better. I'll admit that. It looks way different. Yeah, it does look better. Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, this plays a lot. That's odd that it plays different than the and I think this is the one that I was remembering. I thought, it's like, man, nostalgia's crazy, because I did play this on, because I had a Sega first and then I had a Super Nintendo. So this looks way better for the Sega. So we gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, the Sega one's a whole lot more colorful. Yeah, it looks way more colorful. I'll admit. Superman really coming at it. Come at me, bro. Oh, he freezes you. Oh, okay. The music still sucks, though. The music still definitely sucks. The music sucks bad. I think the Genesis version just is better overall, you know? Yeah, I think this is the one they were talking about and saying this definitely plays better. And the music is a bit better. I will admit that. Can you guys hear the music here? The music is a bit better than, you know, the other one. Little palette swap. It's a bit better. It's not the best, but it is better. I will admit that. Ooh. Superman is a charge character. He's a charge character, okay. Yeah, I had a Sega first and then I had a Super Nintendo. And this is the one that now that I'm playing this is the one that I remember. I was like, man, I don't remember the game being that bad. But now that I'm playing this version, I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad, but it's still bad. Woo. There we go. He's hitting the tar out of freaking. He's hitting the. Do you hear that? It's like a. I went from Nintendo to Sega. Do we have to reset the game to get out of this? I went from Nintendo to Sega, and from Sega to Super Nintendo, and Super Nintendo to PlayStation, and then the PlayStation to GameCube, and then I got a 64 and backtracked. And then after that, my parents were like, I ain't buying you no more daggone games, boy. I'm like, all right, thanks, Dad. Oh yeah, he was definitely giving it to Wonder Woman. Let me get some coffee. I'm starting to get like a little lack of coffee headache.
You will never defeat me.
I will defeat you, my friend.
I control the technology.
Yo, that sounds like the United States.
The power to control your mind.
So this one actually has an intro. Nope. I played the 64 at your house all the time, Seabrook, so I didn't have to get the 64. I did have a Dreamcast too eventually. It actually has a good it has a decent intro. My goodness. I got to give them their props on that. It has an intro. All right, let's go hero mode. Let's see what's up with this story. Superman doesn't seem that bad. We're gonna rock with Superman. That was your journey, get wrecked? Yeah, Sega decided to invest some time in it. They actually got a story. All right, this is the definitive. We're gonna go off of this one. This is the definitive one. I know he got some crazy mullet, right? Crazy freaking mullet. 64 Diddy Kong Racing Mario. Yeah, I like those games. How did he hit me? Take that. This game's still awful though. This game's still awful. Sega was all about the hair. I mean, it was like that on the Super Nintendo one too. Oh, when you hit the ground, it kills you too. I was a crazy kid that had a Saturn. I had a homeboy that had his name was Justin McGuire. Man, he was the guy that had a Sega Saturn. Great kid, man, growing up, man. Seabrooks, do you remember Justin McGuire? He was a cool kid, man. I wonder what happened to him. Ooh, got her. Got her. Saturn was for rich boys? That's funny. I didn't have a Game Gear. I had a Game Boy and all the stuff that goes along with the Game Boy and stuff. Game Boy Color. I mean, I was definitely a Nintendo fanboy growing up. I was definitely a Nintendo fanboy. Oh, it definitely was. I think the only problem with the Sega Saturn is the load times are just stupid. I think we can generally agree that the load times were just bad. Just bad. MK1 on the Game Gear was horrible. MK1 on the Game Gear was horrible. There's no getting around that. Yo, what are you doing? Take that, Flash. Oh, that was a good combo. So this does have some good combos. It does have combos. Yeah, there was a like Mortal Kombat 2 was better on the Super Nintendo. It was definitely better on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, it's a good stinky one for sure. Evil Mouse, what's up? How's it going? Sonic and MK, I'm getting good times. Now, who had the Virtual Boy? No. The Virtual Boy was like a hard no for me. There was nothing about the Virtual Boy that said, you know what? I need this. I need this particular game so I can have this console so I can have a headache. MK1? Ooh, he got me. Superman was OP in this game. Look how hard he's hitting people with that. It's Quarter Circle. Octawave, what's up? How's it going? See, the stages were a little bit better looking on the Super Nintendo version, but the ooh, Super Batman. Stop it. Just chilling. That's what I'm talking about. Glad you're doing well. We have blood in the Genesis one. That's true. You got to put the code in. ABACABB. Anybody remember that? That was a good little combo. Notice Superman, he's only punching. I think that's the only thing he has. Yo, my friend has a controller for MK on the Genesis that has an octagon on the ground. Oh yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Yes. Did anyone ever have a power glove? I know my friend TBG has one. They're cool if you can find one still. And if you do find one, they're like stupid expensive. That's all I gotta do as Superman is do this charge move. Yo, this charge move is OP. It goes through stuff. Wow. It was for exercise games and it was definitely for fighting games. That's what it was marketed towards, the fighting games. Yeah, I'm cheating. I'm cheesing the game. I'm cheesing the game. The only code you know is the Konami code? Gotta know more than that. I don't remember that marketing. They're probably on YouTube, I don't know if it's on YouTube or not. I just remember the box. It had a kid kicking, and then all the flyers that I seen, it was like Mortal Kombat and someone playing an octagon kicking something, you know? That's pretty much what it was the whole time. Yeah, I think I like the stages better on the Super Nintendo one. Because there's parallax scrolling on this. But, can you guys see that? There's a little bit of that parallax scrolling on here. Oh, she's dodging all my stuff. Oh, the game's cheesing now. The game cheesed me out. You think the music's intense? I'm a parallax scroll? Thank you. I appreciate that. She got some butt cheeks. She had butt cheeks before Cammy. You confirmed that cheetah cheeks look better in the Super Nintendo? Spam to win. Absolutely. If you're not spamming, are you trying? Mullet Superman's crazy. I have nothing to fear from even you. Go to dark side, engage in battle, but you will not survive. We'll see. M2 low kick, yes. Mortal Kombat 2 low kick. Best move in the game. This game is 95 degrees miles. You're close. You're very close. Or Superman versus Superman. What? That's not even a good palette swap. Just punching the piss out of each other. I think it was after. I think it was after the mullet one was after he was killed. The mullet grew while he slept. That is true. You impress me, hero, but my plan shall never be thwarted. Once I have conquered Earth, the planet and its people shall serve as the base for the conquest of the universe. I will destroy you with my own hands. All right, cool. We'll see. Oh, did you see that? Oh, Darkseid. He's cheating. He's cheating. Oh, he cheat. They cheating. They cheating with this guy. Did you see that? There you go. In the back. Only if it was that easy to play games like this. Superman is OP in this game. Oh. You can't do down diagonal on this one either. Ooh, Dark Side. You sense the creators did their research with this game? They probably did. Or they didn't. You never heard of this one? Maybe it's the timeline you were on. Like what year were you born? Ooh, that's a strong hit there. 2000. Yeah, this came out in the mid 90s. Woo! All right, now I might need to look up what the move lists are. WWE Warzone. Oh, that was on PlayStation. That was a good one. I was blocking. Oh, you played on 64? I had it on PlayStation. And then I had WWE Attitude on PlayStation. Pretty much the same game with the larger roster. This game lets you mash. Okay. I was born back in 94. Man, you're the same age as my brother. I would pick Attitude over Warzone. Ooh. Oh, he got me. Oh, wow. You came in my face. Pause. No Diddy. Yeah, Dark Side is difficult in this game. Yeah, I gotta look up the moveset. Oh, wow. They only give you but so many chances to do it. Oh, it's one of them. Oh, it's one of them. So to make the game more viable, they don't just let you play. All right, that's what's up. Good to know. Let me look up the moveset here for this game. Justice League Task Force move list. Look that up real fast. Yeah, we're gonna run it back. I got time. We're gonna stick with Superman. Batman. Oh, it's already started. Wait, hold on. Stop. I'm trying to see. Superman. What? This moveset doesn't. Wait, hold on. Super Nintendo. I need to say move list SNES, because I think that move list there wasn't the craze. The no. I need the Sega version. There we go. This is the Sega version. Sega. Yes. Okay. That's the one. I was like, man, that doesn't make any sense. There was a couple things in there, like Superman's move is a charge move, and it was giving me quarter circle motions. I'm like, what are we doing? All right, Cheetah, Green Arrow, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Heat Vision, down forward punch, forward down back. It's ice breath punch. Down back kick. It's hover mid air. Flying fist is charge. Up forward. Kick while flying. Super fist. Hold down back. Okay. Hold down. Okay. Got it. Here we are. CJ, do WrestleMania arcade game next? No. Those aren't fighting games, dude. I don't think I got those ones either. But what we should do is have a little event, maybe a tournament for it. That'd be cool. Going forward. Who would invent their own wrestlers and they get put in the show? That'd be funny. Oh, okay, I see the ice breath. That's strong. WrestleMania Arcade. I have that game too. That's a really fun game. There was a 90s and second series about his kid. I didn't like it so much, but it was more standard anime. What? Which one? Kini Kuman, a contemporary with Oh, never made it. Yeah, it did. It did. It's called Ultimate Muscle in the United States. Look that up. Ultimate Muscle. And they made a game out of it on the GameCube. It was actually pretty solid, man. Ooh, jeez. I'm trying to do the earthquake move. Wait, hold on. Are my buttons ate up? I feel like my buttons might be ate up. No, they're not. My buttons aren't ate up. Okay, cool. That's what a lot of fighting games were back then. Including Dragon Ball. You haven't played none of the Dragon Ball Z games of the 90s? They have absolutely no story. They just get you in there and you just start fighting, man. Yeah, I reviewed Eternal Champions. It got a C, if I'm not mistaken. Eternal Champions is it's a really fun game. That's a game that I like. Yo, if we're gonna remake a game, remake Eternal Champions. It's pretty solid. It deserves a little bit more love, because I remember it being pretty decent. You cope with the magazine? Ah. There we go. Oh, good punch. Huh. Ouch. Yeah, I agree with you. That's kind of what me and my wife talk about on a regular basis, and saying, like, you know, our children are missing out on stuff. Oh, she made it bounce off of her? Ooh. Get me out of the corner. Ooh, she did a good job. At Nintendo Power, physical games, physical comics. I played with physical action figures. Yeah, my kids don't have too many action figures right now. They have a few, but they're all like wrestling action figures, or they're not action figures for the sake of action figures. You know, every once in a while, back in the day, how many action figures did you have that didn't have nothing to do with anything? They were just a cool toy. And you know, I had a couple toys that were like that. It's like, this toy's cool. Yeah, I remember going in the car, and my parents were like, go get you an action figure, go get you some toys, because it's gonna be a long trip. And they didn't tell me to go get my Game Boy. There you go. Yeah, it's a lot of core memories. I love going to used bookstores, could find some sick stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I remember when Books A Million was Books A Million, right? It was Books A Million for me. It wasn't Borders. Borders is what they have now. I think Books A Million went out of business or something. Ooh. Yeah. Why? Walden's Books. Yes, I remember Walden's Books. That's out of business too now, isn't it? Oh, also Button Drummer. Did I show you these low profile buttons that I found on Alibaba? You see that? I'm gonna be putting that in an arcade stick. And they're mechanical buttons. Yeah, I don't know if I showed you about that or told you about that or not. You gotta rake the leaves. Oh, that's kind of sucks. Who likes raking leaves? I don't. Not me. All right, see you later, Evil Mouse. I have professional rakers in my house. They're my sons. Barry and Barry raking service that I use regularly, and they pretty much do it for free. You know, pro bono yard work when you have kids. You get pro bono things. It's snowing? It's snowing in Dallas? Really? Huh. That's crazy. No, not in Dallas. Okay. Let's skip this. Oh, in South Virginia, it's snowing. That sucks. Yeah, why is it snowing over there? I'm telling you, your president, he's up there manipulating the... he's manipulating the... he's manipulating the weather. All right. Let's get Darkseid again. Let's see if we can beat him. That's crazy. It made me start all over. Woo-wee. Wow, he beating the piss out of me on that one. Yeah, he beat the piss out of me. Wow. Weather tax coming. Yep, it sure is. In order for you to have good weather, to have the best weather, you have to pay the weather tax. It's good tax. Ask anyone. Got a good tax here. The weather tax, Bex tax. Ask anyone. Joe Biden, he didn't make this tax. I just call it the big beautiful tax. Big beautiful tax. Golly. Oh, God. This is accurate Darkseid lot? Yeah, it definitely is. I would have to agree with you. Darkseid is pretty he's like the boss of bosses, man. Just beating everybody up. Jeez. Ah, there you go. He's using a Philly. Yeah, he's using a Philly shot. That's funny. Oh, wow. Yo, wow. I said, you ain't doing that to me, my friend. Wow. Yo, he's just not letting me hit him. Yo, Dark Side is difficult. I think this will be my last one. I think we've seen what we need to see. I think we've seen what we need to see on this one. My fight money! Is that it? Oh, we got a few more, it looks like. We might got a few more here to defeat. I'll keep on going until it says, game over, you lose. Ow! Ah! Rah! Rah! He's a difficult boss. Whoa. He is a difficult boss. Game over. All right. I think I'm happy with this. Joel, thank you for torturing me. Yeah. Thanks for torturing me in this game. And we can turn this MF off. Let's do it. Let's rate this game. Let's rate that fighter. All right. So I guess with this one, we're gonna say, yeah. With this one, I think we're gonna say that the Sega Genesis version of this is the definitive version. The Super Nintendo one, it's awful. So we're kind of rating it, but we're not. You know, we're considering some things from there, but overall, you know, the Sega Genesis version, I think we all can agree that it's the definitive version. It's just the better version, and I'd rather rate the better version over the one that's bad, especially when they're releasing at the same time and it's considered supposed to be like kind of like the same game, right? They're not the same game, guys. they're definitely not the same game. But the Sega Genesis version is a good one. So, very first thing, the intro. The intro, surprisingly, really isn't that bad. I was like, okay, intro, decent. I'm gonna give the intro a 12. You know, I'm considering for what it is. You know, being a blockbuster game, pretty much. I can give that a 12. Character select screen though, trash. Give it a 6. It has the character's logo, and then under it, you have the character. It's just not a good look. I don't think I like that. Character viability, you don't have 9 characters, and for games coming out back then, I guess that's not bad. But you know, a roster like that, I don't think is good when you're coming from the DC universe. There's so many other characters they could have added to this roster, and maybe a solid 12 would have been better. So I'm gonna rate this a little bit lower, and I'm gonna give this one a. Maybe you guys have some suggestions as well. I'm gonna give this a 9 because it had 9 characters. So it's like, yeah, give it a 9. Character design is not bad, but it's not good. I think I'm gonna go with half of it. You know, half of 15 is 7.5. I'm gonna give it an 8, right? I'm gonna round to the nearest to give it an 8. Superman with the mullet, I'm kind of for that. I'm definitely kind of for that. So let's go run with an 8 for that one. Game mechanics. It felt kind of clunky. Like, you couldn't get some of the inputs out, especially for the Super Nintendo version. I'm not going off the Super Nintendo version, but that one was just not good. But the way that felt in the game mechanics that go along with it, it was just very simple. It's like, hey, we're gonna take base Street Fighter and we're gonna put superheroes over it, and then we're going to, you know, not make it as easy to make the inputs come out. Could I get the inputs out? Yeah, sure. But it wasn't as good as it should have been. And for what was going on during that time is 1995. Street Fighter is at full stride. You know, Mortal Kombat's full stride. You had the art of fighting. There were so many great games coming out during that time. So I'm going to have to give it a lower grade. I'm probably going to give it, no, let's go 16. I think 16 generally is fair to give this one. Game design. Pixel art. The Super Nintendo version of this, the backgrounds were great. The Sega version of it, they did more focus on the characters than the backgrounds. This one's rough. In like it said, when you said game over, it just kind of had this scrolling and it said game over, and you went to the next character during the little story mode part. It was okay at best, right? And okay at best is I'm gonna say a 9. I'm gonna say a 9. Character customizations and options. It wasn't even a palette swap. It's like, yo, we're just going to give you a darker version of the character. So it's the character with a black gradient over the character, and said, boop, there's your second character. So it had something, but I'm going to give that a 4. The music on the Super Nintendo version was like garbage, but the Sega one, it was a little bit better. I think generally we can say that it was a little bit better than the Sega version, and it had like record scratching, and you know, it had, you know, it was kind of a bop. You kind of do one of these numbers, you're like, oh, I like this game. Oh, do a little dance. So because it made me groove just a little bit, the music wasn't that great, but because it made me move a little bit, instead of giving it an 8, I'll give it like a 10. It gets 2 extra points for making me move, right? Outro and game endings, they're just okay. The one on the Super Nintendo, it said game over, and the one on the Sega, I just didn't feel like beating it. You know, it wasn't worth my while. I think that plays into replay value, but I'm gonna give this a I think it's very low, 7. I mean, I can go back and look at the outro and game endings on YouTube or something like that, and if it's what I believe it is based off the story, it's just gonna show a picture, got a bunch of words. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt that it's there, but still, 7. Replay value. I don't think I would ever come back and revisit this game. I specifically played it because one of our commenters here in the stream said, hey, how about we do Rate That Fighter for this game, because we're talking about the worst games in fighting games. I'm like, okay, cool, let's see what that is. And this is pretty low up there. I said it backwards. Low up there with being a bad game. I don't know if it's the worst, but I think it's pretty bad. It has absolutely no replay value. Only played it because it was suggested. Maybe that'd be a whole series, just bad fighting games, right? I don't think there's any replay value. I'm going to give that a 7. Overall look and feel, it doesn't feel or look good to me. Overall, I'm going to give that a 13. It gets some points, but man, like, even when you bring it all together with the music, the gameplay, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't mesh well, right? And then additional gameplays and modes. Technically, it does. So it has a story mode and then it has arcade mode, right? And then it has the player versus player, player versus CPU. It has that type of stuff. It has very basic things. So I'm gonna give that a 2. Story, does it have one? Technically, yes. I'm gonna give it a 3. Online gameplay, remember, you automatically give it 10 points because it never was meant to be played online. It released before 2009. So it's like, why would we rate that or give it any rating because what it is today? It's like, no, it wasn't really meant to be played like that. So we always give it a 10, give it a benefit of the doubt. And then was it good for its time? I'm gonna say no. I don't think so at all. I don't even think it deserves some points because there were so many other games that they could have been like, hey, let's model some things off of that game over there. That's actually a pretty solid game. So I can't give it anything, honestly. So I'm gonna put 0 right there. So now let's do the drum roll. Drum roll, please. There we go. It's still got an F, a 53.95. Round to the nearest 10, it has a 54. That's higher than Street Fighter. I can agree. It's better than Street Fighter. The original Street Fighter? Does anybody remember the original Street Fighter? God awful. God awful. But I think a 53 is fair in this particular case. For a game like this that released in 1995, that was a blockbuster rental, and it needs to stay as that. A blockbuster rental. Game Reviews 1995 gave a 5 to a 6.5 rating. That's half. So that's either a D or an F if you do a grading scale of 10. Half of that. This is sign language for half of that. Half of that is a 5 out of 10. That's an F in any school. If you gave it a 6 out of 10, that would be a D. So I think this is fairly accurate in the assessment here. And now that you guys kind of understand how I rate things, hopefully you guys be able to continue to move along with me with these ratings. But let me know in the comments below how you feel about this rating. Let me know if you believe this game is good or not. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm the most determined soul, CJ Berry, the leader of waves and waves of people in determination. Success and victory don't block with your face. And I will see you guys on the next time. Peace out. Yeah. That was a weekend warrior type. Yeah. It definitely was. It definitely was. I still got to make a video for Fight of Gods. I got to do that one. That one's from last week. I got to get caught up. What is this? Justice League. Justice League Task Force. I wasn't even worth remembering the whole name. Justice League Task Force. All right. No, keep on recommending them. I'm just gonna blame you for playing them, right? So let's take a look at some other ones that are what are some other bad ones? Like is Ninja Turtles another one of the ones that are bad? They have multiple versions of the Ninja Turtle one though. Is Ninja Turtles another bad one? Or do we have any other ones that are just like, I think that's what I want to take a deep dive on, other games that we normally don't play. They're like, oh, this is such a good game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Tournament Fighters. That and not only is that one not as good, it is what's the word I'm looking for? It's hard too. Pause. Oh, wait, hold on. But yeah, I thought I'd share this with y'all. Go report this fraud. What happened? GG's. Oh, my first message didn't go through. I don't think got an auto modded, but GG's, that's fine. Thanks. I think, but GG's. Is that you think I cheat? You did good. Don't hold your smooth. I'm just saying, holy. Literally cheating. I just checked out. I only lost 5 minutes. Interesting. Someone's talking about someone cheating in the Discord. this. What is the thing? Clay. Ooh, wow, that's bad. That's bad. But yeah, we can do that one. Hold on. Let me see something. All right. All right. Clay Fighter was. Oh, bro. Do you not? Here we go. When's the last time you played Clay Fighter? Please let me know when the last time you played Clay Fighter was, man. I would appreciate it if you let me know when the last time you played Clay Fighter, bro. If please tell me when the last time you played Clay Fighter, and I'll glad. Last year. And who did you play it with? And did you know us yet? You didn't. I know you didn't know us. You just enjoyed beating her up. You're like, hey, babe, let's play Clay Fighter. She doesn't know what she's doing. She just wants to spend time with her husband. And then you're like, I'm beating my wife up. I'm beating her up. And then you beat her. Again, she doesn't know no better. She does not know no better. And you just you beat her up. You beat her up. So then once you get done with that, you're like, hey, let's make a bet. If I win, we make another baby. She's like, bet. And you beat her up again. She ain't bad. Oh no, man. I don't know. You met through gaming? You guys met through gaming? Okay, fair enough. I respect. I'm gonna respect it because I have no choice but to respect it. But okay, that's the next. We'll do Clay Fighter, or we will do Clay Fighter and Ninja Turtle. So on Thursday next week, remind me. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, we might be absorbed in Tekken on next week because they got the new update that's coming out on the 17th. New Tekken update coming soon. The 17th is Tuesday. We're going to be getting the update. So Monday, we're probably going to be doing a lot of ripping and running with Tekken before we get the new update and stuff. So that's going to be very exciting. I'm excited about it. BioFreaks is bad. It's bad. It's very bad. It's very bad. You said it's cool. I clarify. Okay, that's all right. But anyways, I'm gonna have to leave it right here. I'm cutting it a little short today. Let's go raid somebody. Let me see who we're gonna raid on today, and see what's hot, what's not. Tomorrow I won't be streaming. I gotta go in. I got called in for military duties. So we're gonna pick this up again on next week. But on next week, on Monday, we're gonna have an aggressive focus on Tekken. I think that's what I want to do. Have a very aggressive focus on freaking Tekken. So let's see who is. Oh, let's rate up Daniel Hooker Art. Daniel Hooker Art, that's a friend of mine. Really cool guy, really cool dude. I like him a lot. And he does a lot of artwork, and that's some of the stuff that we're going to be doing also. we're gonna do a little bit more artwork type stuff. So stick around for the homie Daniel Hooker art. He's a VTuber, as a matter of fact. He made this really cool game about mermaids. It's a mermaid card. Don't judge me. Do not judge me. But it's actually a really good game. But yes, please check out the homie Daniel Hooker. And you know, yeah. With that, I'm the most determined soul, CJ Berry, the leader of Waves and Waves of People in Determination. Success and victory, guys. Don't block with your face, and I will see you guys on the next time. Peace the heck out. Thank you so much for spending time with me and the rest of Determination. Please follow me on all my social media platforms that are listed here. If you just missed the show, I will be back on weekdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. CST. That's Central Standard Time. Also, join the Discord for announcements and additional conversations like the ones we've had today.